Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another May I Scrap Lift You. So I'm going to try and do quite a bit of catching up this weekend. I'm going to have a bit of a scrappy weekend, reading weekend, just a weekend to myself. It's International Scrapbooking weekend as well. I will have a little tiny mum duty in there, but I am going to try and catch up. So I'm not going to label my layouts per day, because as you know, I generally start May I Scrap Lift You in the same way every year. That is a little bit jumbled this year, although I am starting with those scrap lifts that I normally do start with, but I'll be inserting a few others in there also from the list. So we're a little bit jumbled this year, but we will get there. So today, my friends, I'm scrap lifting my lovely and dear friend Helen, who is Island Scrapper here on YouTube. And as you know, Helen and I do our Background Basics 16 series together on the 16th, and she is a very, very dear friend. And you can see the gorgeous layout that I'm scrap lifting up here in the corner, and she was scrapping about Eric, one of our lovely, lovely donkeys at the sanctuary. So I wanted to keep the same mood and feel. So my colors are different, obviously, but I think I've captured that same sort of mood. So what I've done then is I've gone off and I've got some leftovers. So we're going to call this one a leftovers to layouts as well, because I am using the pink Paisley again and again paper pad from 2019, and I used it a lot back then and then sort of put it away. And as I was getting that second Big Alex drawer organized, I came across 2 or 3 paper pads that I sort of put away and then did not use. Now, I don't think Pink Paisley is labeled as a brand anymore, is it? I don't know whether, I don't know. I haven't noticed any Pink Paisley lately anyway. So I went into that paper pad to get some papers that would go with the sort of mood and feel that I had in mind. So I got the papers. And of course, if you look at Helen's, now I believe, if I remember the video correctly and us talking, I think Helen's background paper is there, and it's sort of like a tearing photorealist paper. It's a lovely, lovely paper pad that she got fairly recently, I think. Now, I took 3 papers from the paper pad, one to frame my layout, this fun polka dot that's in a darker burgundy, and then this light, it's a dusty pink with a little bit of white and gold. And I am scrapping a photo of the Temple of Poseidon. And what I'm talking about in my journaling is sort of my first solo negotiating trip back in 1984. Now, I have a few other gorgeous leftovers on this layout as well. So I started with choosing my papers and tearing my edges of this paper here so that I could get it onto this polka dot paper, which I quite like. And then I matted the whole thing on this other paper, which is more of a, is it more? I don't know what. You sort of have that burgundy color in here as well, with a darker, very warm pinkish color, which I'm not a pink fan, as you know, but the pinks in here are a lot warmer and darker, so they fit perfectly. Now, I went into my stash and I found, first of all, the Stampin' Up! Ink Bravo Burgundy. I'll come back to that in a moment. And I had some of the cardstock left. So the first thing then that I did is back my photo with a little bit of the cardstock to give it a very, very thin frame, although Helen did not, because there was a lot more contrast I found in her photo with the tracing paper. And then I did exactly as she did with some torn tracing paper. I bought that tracing paper on recommendation from Helen, and it's amazing. It really sort of does the job of vellum and tissue paper together. It's fantastic. And the price point, my friends, I got 150 sheets for, I don't remember now, maybe, I don't know, was it $10, $15 or something? It's a very, very reasonable price. So I got my photo done, and I put that in the same spot, of course, that Helen put hers. So this is fairly close in terms of a scrap lift, because I really did love her design. Now, what I did here up in the top is I got I have it in my stash. I found when I was doing some organizing recently, these lovely large numbers, and I did have an 8 and I did have a 4, because this is in 1984. And then what I did to just sort of maybe grunge it up a little bit, as you know, for How to Kill a Kit with Style, this month our theme was grunge. And although I'm not really getting a kit together, life is interfering with my time, I am sort of using it a little bit as a product supply focus, because it is also our focus in Rediscover Your Stash. So to grunge it up a bit, I took this stamp, which is a Stampin' Up! Called Off the Grid, which I've had for, and you've seen me use this before. This is one of the stamps that I do use fairly often. Use the Bravo Burgundy, and I just willy-nilly, more than one layer stamped on the 8 and the 4 to get that up here, to sort of replicate the wood detail and element that Helen has up here. Now, another leftover, which I'm very thrilled about, and this is a lovely heart that was part of a set of these hearts that Helen actually sent me. So that makes me even happier to get it on a layout. It was the last one that I had. I used the other one. So I've got that on here. And although Athens, I have to say, Athens was never will be a favorite city of mine. It's not a city, quite frankly and honestly, that I really enjoyed, quite frankly, but I wanted to get this on there, and I liked the contrast and the colors, and Helen has a beautiful corrugated cardboard heart right there. So to bring the corrugated aspect in, I went into something else that Helen sent me, and these gorgeous craft tags that have the corrugated feel to them. So I got one there, and some leftover twine, which was part of her packaging to me on my Christmas present. So, and I've kept that, of course, and it's the same twine that Helen used in her tag. So there we go. So I'm really liking that this layout is a scrap lift, but also uses a lot of the products that we both love and enjoy. And I didn't think I had any of these gorgeous Bare Basics left that Helen had sent me. And I did found that I had a little bit left over. So I got these wooden dots on here as well. I took another one of the tags, and I punched a few, some stars out from this tag, and some wood veneer stars. I went the star route because, as I said, Athens doesn't merit more than one heart. That's for sure in my books. I'm sorry if you love Athens. I mean, if you're there, I mean, it's obviously a city with a tremendous amount of history and somewhere you have to visit. But in the mid-'80s, it was, at least then, I don't know now, it was a very, very, very polluted, crowded, noisy city it was. Oh, excuse me, I haven't spoken yet this morning. So there you go. And I just went in and got some of my gold letters here to put Poseidon. This is actually the temple of Poseidon, but I just put Poseidon there to get that down. So that's a little bit of an addition to my design. So my journaling, my first solo trip, negotiation. I was in Athens for 3 weeks, not my favorite, but I did get a weekend to visit the Temple of Poseidon, ancient ruins, and the Acropolis, March of 1984. Our local rep there was kind enough to take me out visiting for one of the weekends that I was able to get a little bit of time out. There are a few stories from this trip that I might come back and tell you about, particularly as we got into the 3rd week when I really just wanted to come home, my friends. Anyway, there you go. Now, so again, you can see that gorgeous layout from Helen up there. I will, of course, have her YouTube and Instagram linked down below. If by any chance you don't follow my friend, please pop on over there, and also make sure you join us on the 16th for our Background Basics series, which is a really fun series. The large playlist for everyone who is playing along with May I Scrap Lift You is also linked down below. And as I said, I hope to be back with you over the weekend with a few more videos. There may be more shares than processes. I don't quite know at the moment. And I know some of you actually do prefer shares. So hopefully that's fine then, that we have a little bit of a mix of both, my friends. I will see you back here very soon. Thank you as always. Thank you for all your lovely comments and for sending your support for my boy, my scrap buddy. Thank you so much, my friends. And I'll be talking to you soon. Bye for now.